are...
Maybe.
We're live.
Hey!
Yay! How's it going,
Live.
Twitch?
Twitch is here. We are Twitch. Everything is Twitch.
Everything is Twitch. I just watched the Flash season finale and my brain is all over the map.
Kevin Smith doing things.
All right.
Nah, I wasn't Kevin Smith.
He only did the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, whoever directed the finale is he needs to be fired.
Wait, it was bad?
No, the episode was amazing,
Oh, okay.
but like the director did two. Like first off, there was like a funeral in the beginning,
Okay.
and it was the most forced rain at a funeral I've ever seen in my life. Like it was legitimately sunny in the background. It was the fakest rain ever. And then there was a kiss between two characters in front of a street lamp, and the street lamp was like lens flaring right where the two of them were meeting to kiss, and I wanted to throw up.
Ugh.
It was terrible.
It was J.J. Abrams?
No. J.J. Abrams is way better with his lens flares
J.J.
than that.
Abrams. Oh, shit.
J.J. Abrams would have lens flared everywhere except that scene.
Yes.
Instead of one lens flare in the middle where they were meeting to kiss, there'd be like 4 lens flares around each of them. It would have been fantastic.
I like it. That's a good way to go.
Agreed. All right. Castlevania.
Castlevania.
Good evening
Let's
and
do it.
welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast for the week of May 27th, 2016. I am Chris Randazzo and I am your host. With me tonight are Tan Infestation, Dan Ryan.
Well done, sir. Thanks, man.
I did research on that one.
You really did. Like, that shit happened today. Good for you.
And prohibitively dark screen, Dean DeFalco.
I'm not dark. Wait, am I really dark? What the fuck? It's not
With-
dark.
It's with our 100th episode behind us, we're returning to relative normal for 1 week. Does Dan really have an army of elves who trim his beard for him? Find out now. This is the Stone Age Gamer.
I'd like a group of elm trees just to shave
Elms,
Dan's beard.
an army of elms, because I can talk. So for our vast Twitch audience, you can tell I'm still coughing. And coughing ever since episode 100. Just hasn't stopped. It's been awesome and delightful.
It's
And
going to be the next
yes,
100 episodes is just you coughing.
it's just me coughing.
I like.
I want to hurry up and get this over with so I can go read Rebirth.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that too. Fuck, a lot of things to do. All right.
I don't want to read it, but I'm going to.
No, we're gonna do it.
Skip it, and then I kept hearing from people that it was like
Amazing.
everybody in CBFU is like flipping their shit, and I was like, wait, really? No,
Questionable sources.
Really? So I had to give it a try. I grabbed that first issue.
I am more excited for the new Scooby-Doo book, not going to lie. But tune in tomorrow for fucking Paper Cuts, and we'll talk about
That's
that
the
Scooby-Doo
Scooby-Doo
book
apocalypse
that I am
thing, right?
hyped AF for. Yeah, I'm in. I'm hardcore in.
That looks so
Me
weird.
and Shaggy look alike now. I'm in. All right, start the show.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to episode 101 of the Stone Age Gamer podcast, where we have nothing but the utmost respect for our nation's beekeepers. It's a normal show, which I feel like we haven't had one in a while, and we're going to talk about what we've been playing, followed by some stuff that's happened in the news. But before we get too much deeper into things, here's your weekly reminder that you, yes, you, if you're tuning into our Twitch cast, you can see me pointing at the camera. You can email us at mail@geekade.com and let us know what you think of our show, what topics you want us to discuss in the future, or just say hello, because we always want to hear from you, the listener. And like I said, if you're tuning into our live broadcast here on the Geekade Twitch channel, which we do most weeks, you can ask us questions right now, and we'll answer them just as soon as there's a break in the conversation. So again, I'm sorry I'm still coughing, but we're going to power on through it and start with Dean. You started playing the game you're talking about tonight on our pre-show, so talk to us about what's going on.
All right, so just real quick, little segue into this. We're doing things a little differently on our pre-show now. We are doing a segment called The Vest Quest, in which I attempt to beat games on the stream one Wednesday at a time. So the first game I decided to start... Oh, I forgot to mention, every time I beat a game, I get a patch or a button, and I put it on my vest. So when I go to cons and stuff, I have my achievement vest with me. Anyway, The first game I started with was Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Now, Chris, that's the one you said was the first one for.
That was the first Game Boy Advance one. That was the one that had the dark screen, hence the.
Yes. So
Got it.
so hard to see.
Tell you
Yeah.
what,
So
though,
hard to see.
It's also what the headline says is happening on Twitch right now.
Well, thank you. I will fix that.
I had to, just as a quick side note, when I was working as a telemarketer at the time that came out, and I needed something to do instead of my job at my job. So I bought a Game Boy Advance and Circle of the Moon, went to work, couldn't fucking see it, went back to GameStop the next day and bought like a Spider-Man attachment light where like his two dumb arms like just were straight and he held a fucking light in front of it.
Oh
yeah.
awesome. Had like a little neon light in the middle.
My blue Game Boy Advance and my Spidey light got me through many an hour at Data Communications.
wow, that is interesting. You know, did they ever make a worm light for the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, they did.
Because I had one of those for the Game Boy Color, and that thing worked marvelously. I never found
Yeah,
one for
Wormlight
the
was great.
Game Boy
That's
Advance.
what Wormlight was what got me through Circle of the Moon.
Yeah. Well, anyway, problem solved. They don't have that issue anymore, mainly because playing on a big screen. It's nice.
Yeah, the game looks remarkably good backlit. Like it looks great on a screen.
Yeah, no, I've had no problem seeing things now, which is nice. I've never. All right, I'm gonna be honest here. I've never beaten a Castlevania game. I've played them all. It's just one of those things I haven't done because they're
Blasphemy.
difficult. Yeah, I know. Whatever. I suck.
Well,
I'm
if
sorry.
you suck at video games, they're difficult.
Thanks. Anyway, I was playing through this, and there was one thing I noticed because I played a lot of the DS ones recently. I've just been, kind of going back and forth, debating if I was going to do this or not tonight. And there's no like dash mechanic like there are on the DS ones, which kind of threw me off. Where you have that dash where you could like kind of slide, moonwalk backwards or like moonwalk forwards. But they replaced it with all these really cool abilities, like you're finding in the game. I think the first thing you get is like running boots, which
Oh yeah.
double tap
That's like
twice.
double tap, right?
Yep.
And you can
Yep.
run.
Yeah, that was cool. And then the next thing was, I think you beat the first boss. You get a double jump, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. Like, I don't remember this in a lot of the Castlevania games after this one. So I found it really interesting, these little kind of unlocks and rewards for getting further into the game.
I love the shoulder charge. That was probably my favorite power up.
I didn't get that yet, which I'm assuming breaks all the blocks, like in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I didn't get
Yeah,
that. I'm
like I know there's a point I think where you can push a lot of those blocks, but then you get this like just badass shoulder charge move, and you're invincible when you do it. So like it doesn't do a lot of damage, but if you just want to be on the other side of some bad guys, just go boom right through them.
I like it. I want it. I want that now. But yeah, I've been having a good time. It has those RPG mechanics that all the later ones have, and Symphony of the Night, which is really cool. I'm still getting used to the controls a little bit because again, haven't played a lot of Castlevania. I've just played Castlevania games in general. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, the first boss I beat was Cerberus, which is really cool. The first time I got my ass totally obliterated by it, and then the second time I was sort of kind of getting it a little better because I thought it was cool. They have Wiggly Whip in this game. It's not really Wiggly Whip. It's more like he spins.
Swirly Whip.
Yeah, Swirly Whip. Thank you, Swirly Whip. And
Cool
it's like-
whip.
yeah, cool whip.
Cool whip.
So I found that cool that it had that mechanic, but I also found it cool that it had that sort of timeliness that you have to like the original Castlevania whip animation, where like it takes time to actually get the whip out. I felt like it had a good curve for that, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because it's not like automatic. The whip doesn't go out, it's not quick. It has a little bit of a lag to it once you hit the button, so you kind of have to time what you're doing correctly. I found that out when I was trying to hit some of the lamps, and I was jumping, and the whip wasn't getting out quick enough to hit the lamps. So it took some time to get used to that. But I mean, yeah, I've been enjoying the game. I think I'm getting close to the second boss. I'm at the outer wall, which I'm assuming is probably going to lead to the werewolf. Now, Castlevania gets freed. Castlevania. The entire castle gets freed. No, Dracula gets freed. Is this the Dracula from Symphony of the Night?
He's a building. No, it's Dracula.
they're very similar things.
I see how you get the two of those confused.
Yeah, no, they're about the same. One lives in the castle, the other one is the castle. It's the same thing. But is this the Dracula from Symphony of the Night? I'm sorry, I made you laugh.
He's not in the bus, Frylock. He is the bus.
All right, Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference.
Dr. Shake told me to go look at the freezer. Said there's carnival in the freezer. I checked. It's just a damn freezer.
I feel like this is going to be the title somewhere in here.
I'm serious, Shake. That's the last TV. Oh, that one? That one better not have been the last one.
Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, Mr. Fryman. Sorry, go ahead. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, is this the...
I mean, it's the same Dracula. It's always the same Dracula.
You
It's,
know,
it's
I don't know. Okay.
Well, except in the Lords of Shadow verse, because that's a different universe.
Okay, well, now I know. I just wanted to make sure because I mean he's sort of evolved visually through the games. The first one he kind of looks like more of a Nosferatu type Dracula, and now he looks like a anime-ish type Dracula, which isn't a bad thing. He looks very handsome. I mean, I'd
he's
bang
a little fey.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, man.
He's a little fey.
I'd hit it. It's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're a miserable little pile of secrets to him, so...
What I really liked about that one in particular, and you touched on it a little bit, Dean, but as you play through that game, it did a really nice job of pacing itself to where just when you were starting to get fucking sick of what you were able to do, you would get a new ability.
Yes.
Be like, all right, I could do something. Oh, I got a thing. I can do a new thing.
Yeah,
Good.
The game keeps
I'll keep playing
evolving.
for another hour.
Yeah, the game keeps evolving with your experience with the game. Just when you think you've got it all down pat, it's like, oh, here's a new thing, and yeah, it's really interesting because I don't. I'm not gonna say like I don't feel like the rest of the Castlevanias are like that because I haven't played many of them for a long time, but I feel like some of them kind of give you what you need up front besides just. Getting new weapons and stuff, so it was cool trying to see this. Also, the card mechanic where you mix them to get different spells.
Oh, was
That
it
was
DSS?
Yeah, that
was really good. That was really good.
Yeah, so I like a lot of that stuff. It's been really interesting, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I only played for an hour and a half, and I got a real kick out of it. It didn't seem like I was getting lost or anything. I finally found how to use the map out, which was good because when I first started the game, I hit the select button, nothing happened, so I just figured there wasn't a map option, so I was just running around like a chicken with my head cut off for the first hour, and then I hit it again, and there came the map, and I was like, oh, things are much easier now. I know when I'm running over the same parts, and I know exactly where I am now. This is great. And yeah, it's been a great time, and it's like $7, I think, on the virtual store, $7 or $8. If you haven't played a Castlevania game, this is a good one to start with because I don't feel like it's too difficult to the point where a lot of the people who kind of want something easier are gonna hate it. And for some of the people who like Castlevania who want a challenge, I feel there's enough challenge in there with it, especially when you get to the bosses and a little further in the game. When I first started the game, I was like kind of plowing through enemies once I got a level up and some items and stuff. And then when I got to the next section, I noticed that wasn't working anymore. What took 1 or 2 hits now was taking 4 or 5 hits. And I had to put a little bit more strategy and thought into where I was moving and everything, which I thought was cool. There's a good curve to the game is what I'm trying to say. So I've been enjoying it, and I think this is a good Castlevania game to start with for people who are new to the genre.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a damn good game. It felt like a really worthy successor to Symphony of the Night, which honestly, like that's a tough hill to climb because Symphony of the Night is a goddamn masterpiece. But when I heard they were making a new Castlevania, a sequel to that of sorts, and it was on Game Boy Advance, I was a tad concerned, but I was also hyped as all hell to have it portable. And yeah, the game delivered. It really did. I mean, really, all 6 of those handheld Castlevanias, Circle of the Moon, the other 2 game GBA ones, then all 3 DS ones,
Right.
Really some just damn considering the quick succession that they all came out. Like
They were yearly almost.
yeah, like they were damn near annualized, and every single one of them like were really good and also pretty different from one another. Like especially the DS games, like between
Yeah, there were only 2 that were related.
yeah,
like
Dawn of
Aria
Sorrow,
and Dawn of
Aria of
Sorrow.
Sorrow, and Dawn of Sorrow. Yeah,
Where you
I mean they were
Soma.
they were all technically related.
Well,
just
sure.
millennia away from each other, but those two were like direct sequels, which is a pretty rare thing in the Castlevania universe
Yeah, that doesn't
outside
happen
of
that often, right?
I mean,
Lords of
outside
Shadow
like
1 and
Castlevania
2.
We're not counting that. Those games don't count.
Yeah, but I mean the original
I don't
ones,
know,
1 and
man.
2, they were directly related, and what is it? Castlevania: The Adventure and Castlevania 2: Belmont's Revenge were related.
Yeah. I liked the Devil May Cry Castlevania PlayStation 2, 3. I don't know. I liked
They were
those.
PS3 and 360 era, and I think they're good games. I didn't play a lot of them. I definitely dig them, but they're just a different continuity. That's all.
Yeah. They're good though. I mean, they're well made. They play really well. I mean, nothing compares to 2D Castlevania. Like that is how that game should be.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like much like Sonic the Hedgehog, it does not translate properly into 3D. It just doesn't.
And that's
Yeah,
fine.
you're right. Yeah,
That's fine.
I mean,
Yeah, not everything needs to translate to 3D.
Yeah, we have options. It's nice.
I will never need a 3D Super Meat Boy. I just won't.
No, yeah,
Well-
that's not a thing we need. I think that
I
was
need a
pretty much it.
1D Super Meat Boy.
1D.
Okay.
I did happen to pick up another Castlevania game while I was at GameStop. I haven't really gotten a chance to play it. It is hang on, let me check. Is Castlevania?
Castlevania on the other side of the room. One of my favorites entries in the series.
Very oddly
Castlevania
titled.
Dead Airtime.
Yeah.
It's Castlevania. I lost the game right now, and I don't know where I put it. So I'm pretty sure it's a DS one. It's Castlevania
What color is it?
on the actual cart.
Like just the box or whatever.
I didn't get a box with it. It was like a
You just have to
purplish
just-
sort of sticker, I think. Most of them are kind of purplish though.
Well, Dawn of Sorrow had blue writing, so that's out. Portrait of Ruin was primarily
Portrait of
orange.
Ruin, I think,
Oh, you got Portrait of
I
Ruin?
think that was it. Yeah.
Alright.
It was like $10 at like $15 at GameStop, and that's the thing. I keep going to GameStop to visit because their DS games are getting like dumb cheap.
Mhm.
And I really like a lot of those portable games, just games I could pop in, play for a little while, stop. And especially the fact now that with my 3DS, I can open the top, play it, close the top, and as long as it's in the charger, it's never going to turn off or die. So I
Yeah,
can
just pick right up, like literally where you left off.
right. So I
No loading a game save, no nothing.
it's perfect. So yeah, I'm building a small library of those games right now, and yeah, I haven't gotten to play it, but I figured we'll start with this Circle of the Moon. We'll go from there. Vest Quest lives on, and I'm pretty excited.
Got to hit
to
up that
start
Starfy after you finish Circle of the Moon.
I think I will do Starfy. I do have a way to capture DS gameplay on the capture card, so I just got to fiddle on how to get the sound in, which is a little more difficult, but I'll figure it out. And when I do, Legend of Starfy will be on there.
Outstanding. All right, Dan, you're up. What have you been playing
Other than Puzzle and Dragons.
other than Puzzle and Dragons?
I do have to mention, I fucking spent Monday grinding my way up to level 250 because at level 250 you get a special pull from the rank 250 egg machine, and oh shit,
He got like one of the best characters.
a fucking D-Cali, man. Dark
Wow.
Cali is one of the most coveted cards in the fucking game, and Tiffany pulled it for me because I couldn't. The pressure was so intense.
So you got someone who just did not give a shit.
So I got someone who couldn't give a fuck less. And D-Cali comes rolling out of the machine, and she's looking at the phone, and she hands it to me, and she goes, "I don't know, is this fucking good? What the fuck?" Oh my god, it's amazing! It's like her and Eshamale are like the two. Anyway, so yeah, Puzzle and Dragons, fabulous. But one of the free games that came with PS Plus last month was Switch Galaxy Ultra, which is it's like Amplitude, sort of, but without as strict a focus on the music. It's kind of a track switching racing game, and there's like obstacles and shit up on the tracks, and it's got a story that I continuously skip through because the narrator it sounds like a Japanese AI phonetically reading English.
Very nice. That's kind of weird.
which
Boy,
is
that's awesome.
that is as fucking annoying as it sounds. Like there's a story. I think you're like a smuggler or like a cargo pilot or some bullshit. I don't know. It doesn't
Tailspin.
matter. Oh fuck, that's right. I've been playing Tailspin. Damn it.
I've been a bear this whole time.
Son of a bitch. It's not a character named Vince. It's a character named Blue. And what was the fucking Munster or I don't know the other. Who's
There's
the
an
fat
orangutan.
mouse?
The fat
I know.
mouse? Like
Yeah,
the
wasn't there
rescue-
fat
Monterey-
mouse?
Oh,
Monterey
Jack,
Jack.
that was
Yeah,
in
there's
There we go.
Rescue
Thank you.
Rangers.
Yeah,
Stuff.
Rescue Rangers.
Oh, that's Rescue. Oh fuck. What do I know? Anyway, so yeah, basically, I mean, what it is you just each level is about 2.5 minutes or so. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and all you're doing is just you're on rails and you have multiple tracks that you can switch through. You can what I like about it is you can play with either the D-pad, the analog stick, or the shoulder buttons. Like there's really not much that they needed to do. So they're like, fuck it, 3 control schemes. I find that I switch quicker if I use the shoulder buttons. But you basically switch between lanes, avoiding obstacles, and you have a turbo boost that you can fill up. And as you're going through, like there's stuff on the tracks to collect. And about halfway through each track, you go through a wormhole where you're like free flying through. And there's some more orbs and shit. There's 10 orbs per wormhole to collect. For some reason, I continue to play this game a whole hell of a lot. It is incredibly addictive. And I think it's because of the simplicity of it. There's not really much to it. You keep going, like each mission you undertake has like a different city that you're flying to.
Okay.
But when you get there, they all look the same. It's the same fucking background city that you get to every time. And but I keep fucking playing it, man. Like there's something really addictive about that amplitude style gameplay. I'm fucking into it, man. For like a free game, it was originally a Vita game, and I'm bouncing back and forth between the Vita and the PS4, and just like downloading saves and whatnot. I dig it, man. It's fun. It's the company Atomicon. I don't know what else they've done. It says that they've worked on a bunch of different stuff like Wipeout and Metal Gear Solid 3 and I don't know, a bunch of other like mobile shit and whatnot. They're a British company and you know how like when you boot up a game, that's how old I am. I said boot up a game. When you fucking turn a game on.
You get your boot disc
when you
out.
jack it to the internet.
When I sit through that 56K modem nonsense, yeah, there's always like all the fucking intros and shit of like this game was made on Unreal Engine 4 and fucking this company and that company and this company.
Are they a
There's like
localizer? Or?
no, they're a British company. They're based out of Liverpool. But one of the things that pops up is like a children's charity. I was like, that's the first time I've ever seen that in a video game thing. That's pretty fucking cool, man. I didn't pay for your game, but that's fucking cool. So right on. But yeah, it's a ton of fun, man. It's just like an old school track racer. I dig it.
Awesome. I've never heard of it. I'm totally happy to hear people making games that are similar to Amplitude because Amplitude is awesome.
There's no giant
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum though. That's what it needs.
No, it's what everything needs.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm looking at their list of games developed, and they started with a thing. They did Android and iPhone games, Bang Bang Racing, and then Switch, and then there was Switch Galaxy, and then Switch Galaxy Ultra. So this really kind of seems to be what they're driving home with this Switch track racing thing. But man, it's fucking fun. It's on Steam. It's on the PS4. It's on the Vita. I think it's pretty cheap, even outside of it being free for the next couple of until next Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, I would like, fuck, if you got $10, man, this is definitely worth it.
Dan, I got $10. I got a lot of bucks.
Do you?
But the
That's
buck stops
good.
here.
Wow.
Well,
I think I.
you don't have
Oh,
kids,
there you go.
so you know.
That's why he
Am I
still has the
lagging now?
bugs.
No, you're good. You're good.
Damn it.
Just keep talking, Dan. You're all right.
All right. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I got. I really haven't been playing much else. Work has been kicking my ass these these last couple of weeks. So it's been Puzzle and Dragons and Switch Galaxy Ultra.
Listen, Puzzles and Dragons, that's all you need, man. Player's Choice Godfest right around the corner. I was talking to J-Pain about that real quick, and she's like, I don't have any stones. And I was like, fucking buy them, bitch, because Player's Choice Godfest, fucking serious. And she's like, what's it do? And I was like, just players voted on what kind of characters they want to be in the egg machine, and they're all fucking good. And she's like, oh my god, I hate you. Because she's going to spend a lot of money now.
Hell yeah, dude! Tell J-Pain to send a friend invite my way. I'll lend my Awoken Bastet to her quest, and I've got my 56 stones saved up for Player's Choice Godfest as of this recording. So I'm in at least 11 rolls.
Well, I gotta catch up to you, man. I got some stones that I gotta get going. But yeah, let's not talk about Puzzles and Dragons anymore.
That's just fucking grinding through the game.
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right. Well, I'm back.
Sorry, we went back to Puzzles and Dragons land. I'm sorry. Are you okay? You're not choking and dying,
Good.
right?
No, I have just this limitless supply of phlegm in my chest area.
That's so hot.
It's so delightful.
I love it when you talk dirty, Chris.
Say phlegm again.
Phlegm.
Oh, I'm almost there. Almost there.
I don't know how you're almost there. I blew it.
Talk pad to me.
Talk pad.
Anyways,
baby.
Let's see. So I had no idea what I was going to talk about today. So the other day I went ahead and just looked at my shelf of Super Nintendo games and said, all right, what game has a funny name that I know almost nothing about? And the first thing that jumped out at me was a game called Axelay, which I know I've played this before. I knew it was a shooter, but I couldn't remember what made this game interesting. So grabbed it off the shelf, saw the Konami logo, said, all right, I'm in. So yeah, Axelay, it's a vertical / side-scrolling shooter, which makes me extremely happy. Reminds me a bit of Stinger, which is another old Konami shooter type game. This isn't nearly as cute. It's got some really cool voice samples in it. I don't remember what the dude was saying, but it was like something like, ready for launch or whatever that is. But it was so crystal clear. Like the voice sample was really well done. And what kind of makes this game feel unique, besides just being your regular run-of-the-mill competent shooter, it didn't really seem to do anything all that special. But visually, it was really neat because it was using the whole it was really abusing Mode 7 like quite thoroughly, but to a really great effect. Like you're cruising around and like the background underneath you is just kind of like scrolling almost like you're over a globe. It was really neat looking. It's tough as nails because that's what shooters are all about. And I think your ship's name is Axelay. Like there was some there's some bullshit story about the aliens invade, kill everybody, one ship survives, it's the Axelay, you are here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of ass. And it was fun. I had a good time playing it for I must have played it for like maybe a half hour or so because they didn't have a ton of time. But I was really happy to jump into this one. You guys have any experience with this one?
I've never even heard of it. Axelay?
I haven't played that game in forever.
More than I have, to be honest.
I remember this is one of those games that I know I've played it at some point. I may have rented it or something back in the day, but I remember it mostly from just Nintendo Power. And this was one of those early Super Nintendo games. This was back in '92, so this was, this is old school Konami. The music sounds like old school Konami. It is 100% an old Konami game.
Is this the one? Is this the one that had the fucking like the old dude playing the banjo as its
No,
dad?
that was Phalanx.
Oh, that was Phalanx. Okay.
Although I had an idea earlier this week, and I'm shocked at the internet for not having done this already, and I haven't had the time to do it myself. But how in the world has nobody photoshopped Banjo Guy Ollie's face onto the cover of Phalanx for Super Nintendo?
Good question. We need to get on that. I'll get our crack team of Photoshop engineers.
Yeah, like get on it, internet. How is this not a thing? I mean, it's entirely possible. I don't think that was the cover in PAL territories. It's possible Ollie doesn't even know about that. Um,
I
this
would
is-
like
this
that
is-
on a T-shirt.
I would pay money for that. I would pay money for Ollie's face photoshopped onto the cover of Phalanx, and like basically just do that whole cover, except change the word Phalanx to Banjo Guy Ollie or something, and do it in the same font. Make it happen, internet.
Can we get it from Wisdom Tree?
From Wisdom,
Yeah.
no.
Why not?
The hell does Wisdom Tree have to do with anything?
Because they have T-shirts. Not good ones, but they have T-shirts.
We have their
We
T-shirts.
do.
Fuck you, Wisdom Tree.
I love Wisdom Tree t-shirts. Wisdom Tree, big fans of the show.
They certainly are.
So I mentioned this last week. The other game I've been playing a bit of was, well, I do have to say I played another level of Star Fox. I finally had an opportunity to do that, and it was another one of those just regular space shooting levels, and it was just glorious. Man, when that game hits it, when that game is like on point, it is so on point. It is so good. It's so much fun. The controls click like nothing. But then, like, every now and then I got to go into the chicken walker or something, and the controls just confuse the crap out of me. But yeah, when that game is on point, it's on point. So I was really happy to do that. But the other thing that made me extraordinarily happy was I was playing Super Meat Boy, which I haven't played in a good long while.
He'll be good in a second, guys. Hang on.
That's right. Edit all this shit out for the final.
No, you won't.
Oh, no.
But Evan might.
Yeah, passing it on to Evan. Yeah, I did it last week. I edited episode 100. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you
Was-
handled that burden.
That was something. Anyway, so Super Meat Boy, I bought this game when it first came out on Xbox 360, and I really, really loved it. I had been following its progress for a while, and I was really jazzed because it was coming to WiiWare, and it was all like, this is a precision platformer, and I was just stoked as hell because at the time they were talking about this, I was still primarily running on a CRT, and nobody does D-pads like Nintendo, like just period. Nobody does them like Nintendo. But then nobody does stupid quite like Nintendo either. And Nintendo refused to lift their file size limit for Team Meat to put Super Meat Boy on the system that game references more than anything. And they eventually just gave up. They're like, well, if we can't make the game we want to make, we're not going to pay to put this on a disc and print it. This is a downloadable game. Sorry, we're tagging out. Like they left on as good terms as they could, but just like in the last couple of weeks, Super Meat Boy finally came out, this time on Wii U. So it was in full glorious HD, plays just as well as the other versions, except now I get to play this instead of on my crappy Xbox 360 D-pad. I finally get to play it on a proper D-pad, and I freaking love it. I'm loving every second of it. If you've never played Super Meat Boy before, it is just it's a fantastically difficult, yet simultaneously forgiving because like there's infinite lives and you just die over and over again, and keep on rolling. This was one of the earlier games to do that kind of a thing too. Like I feel like this kind of premise has been copied a lot in a lot of indie games,
I
but
think
it's
the only one that did it before this that I remember was oh god, what was it called? It was like a browser game, like N Plus, I think, or N Plus Plus or something.
oh yeah, N Plus, yeah.
I feel like that was not even like visually, because that game is very simple visually, but I mean
Yeah.
mechanics wise, it
Yeah,
was
it does
reminiscent.
feel. I never really made that connection. This does feel a lot like N Plus, like the same kind of floaty jumping and whatnot.
Mhm.
But Super Meat Boy's just got such good character to it.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
such a
no, it does.
fun game to look at, and all the ridiculous warp zone, just the crazy shit that goes on in that game. But it's so difficult, but it's so much fun to just figure out how am I going to get from point A to point B, and then just go for it. And I'm so happy to be playing this game again. And seeing as there's not really anything coming out for Wii U, I'm pretty happy that I have stuff to play.
I'm happy for you, actually. I'm very happy for you. And I mean that's good that finally came out. Did you ever beat it, or would this be?
No. I never beat it back in the day.
Okay.
It was one of those games I would pick up from time to time, play for like a couple levels, and then not touch it again for a month. 'Cause it's not like there's an epic story I'm
No,
following.
right. Yeah, you're just kind of playing through it.
And it bothered me so much. Like I would, the closest I could get to comfortably playing that game was I would pull out my I had the Street Fighter 4 control
You
pads.
play with the a control pad or arcade stick?
No, control pads.
Okay,
I'm not an arcade stick guy. I never have been. I play Street Fighter with a D-pad. I'm one of those assholes. But I bought those Street Fighter game pads for 360, and they had really nice D-pads. The thing is that those were perfect for a kind of game like Street Fighter where you're doing a lot of like quarter circles and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
Where
Oh, there we go.
that's something that the original killer Nintendo, like when the ones that they perfected around the Super Nintendo era, their D-pads are just so perfect for that left to right.
Mhm.
Xbox has always been trying to mimic that sort of floating D-pad that was in the Saturn controllers, which I adore like desperately, but primarily for fighting games. Whereas like for precision platforming, nothing beats that regular cross keys. And I mean, I know the PlayStation one it's pretty good. It's gotten a lot better over the years, but I've never really been a big fan of that segmented D-pad. Like I just don't like it. It's not for me. I get it's a differentiating factor for them, but yeah, it's this is how I've always wanted to play this game, and now that I can finally play this game on the controller that I've always wanted to play it with, I'm just happy as a bag of cats, which I assume is a happy thing.
That
I
sounds
don't
angry.
fucking think a bag of cats is happy at all.
What?
Gotta be honest. Like,
I would be happy to have a bag of cats and then throw it out my front door.
Oh, dude, Peter's gonna be all over us now, man.
If it was a bag of kittens, I would keep them.
Okay, there. Peter's back off of us.
oh,
PETA,
fuck
big fan of
PETA.
the show.
I'll wear, and I'm not happy about it. Pricks.
Well,
All right,
now that
well,
Dan got his political rant out of the way.
Oh, I haven't even begun, sir.
All right, take it easy, Bernie.
All right,
All right.
everybody. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. We're going to read a couple of commercials. And when we come back, we're going to announce the winner of our Stone Age Gamer episode 100 $100 gift card contest that we didn't name. And then we're going to talk about a few things that are in the news. So you are listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. So stick around.
So, Stick, you are listening to the Stone Age Gamer.
I have this
That
thing
was
I'm trying to get myself into the
flawless.
habit of saying. And yeah, sticking the line.
Perfection.
This is what editing is all about.
Gee,
I mean, I'm just happy I'm not talking out of it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm so tired of
All right, so let me get the.
I was gonna make a gymnast joke, but I don't know it.
Dan, you're.
Am I lagging fucking horribly
Oh, yeah.
bad?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little
God
rough.
damn it.
like a motherfucker.
Hold on. I'm gonna try something, and if it totally fucks it up, call me right back.
Not gonna.
Fuck you.
You gonna be okay?
I'm sure I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
There.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I
That sounds better.
sure
You say something, and I'll react to it.
something.
Fuck.
Something else.
Okay.
Was that right there? Like, was it?
Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing because it's like 10 billion degrees in my room and I didn't put my air conditioner in yet.
Okay.
Okay.
First up. Oh, son of a bitch, Chris.
What?
Stepped all over my line.
I didn't say anything.
I'm just fucking with you. You did. You mumbled. You're a mumbler. First up. This week's apathetic enthusiasm is something a bit different. Brandon and Travis attend the amazing Hawaii Comic-Con this past weekend, and they had the distinct pleasure of moderating a panel with Scott Lobdell, Emma Fife, and Meredith Placco about the current state of comic book movies. Everyone involved had a blast, as naturally they would, and this week's episode is the recording of said event. Give a listen to Apathetic Enthusiasm, episode 68, Comic Cinematic Revolution Panel.
That sounded like a thing. I should probably read my part now.
Yes.
Next, earlier. Whoa, what? Wow. The whole next and earlier kind of threw me off because it's like next, future, and then
That was impressive. You interrupted yourself.
yeah, I did threw myself
I'm just
off.
gonna watch. Just watching this happen. Like,
Yeah, my brain kind of caught on fire there. Okay, next. Earlier this month, Geekade went to the Atlantic City Boardwalk Con in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and we took all sorts of pictures and videos while we were there. Oh yeah, I was in them. Anyway, we've been posting about them all week, and the videos are still showing up on our YouTube page all this week. Go to the Think Tank and read ACBC 2016 recap, and keep your eyes on our YouTube page for the latest interviews from the event, except for tomorrow, because I'm going to sleep in. Fuck you guys. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be up tomorrow.
We should really get Dean to do one of the Words of Power ones.
No.
We really should.
No.
We don't have a timeline for when they need to be out. So
I'm just going to do it on the speak and spell.
That's a great idea. Then, I coughed a lot. Then, the Papercuts podcast prepares themselves for DC Rebirth by reading a bunch of not DC Rebirth stuff. The last DC event nearly killed them, especially Dan. Will Rebirth do the same? They've only got this week to enjoy themselves before they find out, so they spend some quality time with things like Civil War, Old Man Logan, Brutal Nature, and more. Listen to Papercuts issue 85, Should Have Taken an Uber.
That title is so descriptive of what we read. I can't even begin to tell you.
Dude, none of the fucking titles are descriptive of what we read. That's why I fucking do it.
Finally, cosplay can be super fun, but it's even more fun when it's consensual. No, that's not what that says. Cosplay can be super fun. But it's even more fun.
Non-consensual cosplay?
I have seen some girlfriends at shows of like, this fucking asshole drugged me here, and now I'm getting touched and drooled on and smelled on. It's just, ugh. Anyway.
I swear I didn't leave these house with these steampunk goggles on my head.
They're fucking here. Cosplay can be super fun, but it's even more fun when you get to involve unusual tools in the process. Geekade's Dawn Blake writes about some of her favorite cosplay tools now that con season is in full swing. There's a tiny anvil involved. It's awesome. Read fun with cosplay tools located in the Think Tank.
You can catch all this great stuff plus tons of other articles, videos, podcasts, and more right now at geekade.com. Come on.
Wait, we have a website?
I'm so sick.
This is at the point where you just pissed at yourself. God damn it.
Every time I breathe in, it just starts... Oh, yeah, all that phlegm is there, and I can't exhale without a cough.
God, he said it again.
I'm about to fap all over this place, man. You really got to stop saying that word. Stop saying the P word.
Gross.
Prostate.
Oh, that's an even hotter word. It's like
Oh.
moist.
Milking it.
Mm.
Man, this is taking a turn quickly. All right. Back to the news. I am
And
fucking
we
excited
are
about the
back.
time.
How you doing, Dan?
I'm good.
He's
Am
choppy.
I here? Am I choppy? Son of a bitch bastard.
It's all right, Dan. We'll
Hey.
live.
It's time for us to announce the winner of the $100 gift card sweepstakes extravaganza from StoneAgeGamer.com. Dean, would you kindly do the honors?
Okay, I'm gonna take a video real quick, guys. Just so if anyone questions this, I do have proof that we did do this. So here we go. I'm gonna take a video here. Here we go. These are all the contestants here. As you can see, there's tons and tons and tons of them. Probably about 200 contestants. When you see YT next to the name, that's just to denotate that there are YouTube people here. We were testing it out earlier. That's why there's a name there. That's not the winner, though, so don't worry. Anyway, I'm going to go hit the random name thing, and here we go. Boom. Okay, it is a YouTube person, Pager Hundley, from YouTube. So we'll message them later on today and tell them that they won if they don't see this first. And congratulations, you just won yourself a $100 gift card. In the event that this person does not contact us within the week, we will redraw again and see for someone else to win.
Well said.
I said things. I
You
know how to
did.
do things.
So, yes, congratulations to our winner. Boom. Yes, serious. See, here's the problem. I'm looking at Twitch right now,
Okay.
and Sirius 1675. his name is showing up in like fluorescent green against the gray background, and I can barely read it. But Sirius, I know who you are.
Oh well, I pop out the chat like in a separate window because that's just for the people who are watching on. I don't actually watch our own video because then it just gets confusing, and then I see myself talking. And listen, I'm already confused. Like I don't need extra stuff to fuck it up.
For the Purples.
Get a jorb.
All right, let's talk about some stuff that's been going on in the news. First things first.
Yep, that's first.
That was first. All right, second second up. No, this first thing is just absolutely astonishing to me. A company called was it I don't know. Somebody is making Space Harrier action figures. No, resin model kits. So not only is it not accessible in the way that it's not just an action figure, it's a resin model kit,
Put together.
but it's for freaking Space Harrier. Like
The
is
7 people
remarkable.
that want this are so excited.
I know, right? But there
And I'm
can't be more
fucking
than
happy
7
for
people.
them. No, there really can't be. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Space Harrier that much.
Until you see all the people.
I
buying
love
it.
Space Harrier, but it's not like I'm attached to that character. I
Right,
didn't
like-
know the character's name was Harrier. Like, now the name of the
Oh,
game
is
makes
it?
a little bit more sense. Yeah, I found out when I was reading this article.
No
The
shit.
hero
I always thought it was a
Harrier
spacecraft.
will include 2 bonus accessories. These include a smaller Harrier figure, which is roughly the same scale as the IDA model kit, or IDA, whatever. You will also get a second hair sculpt. The alternate hair is meant to match the
Ooh.
Space Harrier's arcade poster. Good. Good God. There's also like I keep stopping reading this thing, but the big dumb Maui heads seem to be there, as well as that like weird cycloptic elephant thing, the mammoth. So yeah, I'm so stoked about all of this.
You mean they have an ancient tandem war elephant?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
They seem to be trying to tie it into Space Harrier 3D, the 3DS re-release of Space Harrier, but that was released like a year ago. Like, I don't know. I'm so
You missed
glad.
the boat,
somebody's-
guys.
Yeah, you really missed all of the boats, but more power to you. Let's see. I'm reading this on toyark.com, and let's see. See, an official product, RC Berg Limited is going to give fans of the classic game a chance at a few cool collectibles. Like, well, RC Berg, if I was wearing a hat, I would tip it to you.
Because you're fucking nuts.
Yeah, out of your
Maybe if these sell well, I'll finally get that resin bust of Power Fist that I've been fucking dying.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll get a life-size bust of Sleepwalker while you're at it too.
I want a jar
Oh.
of tears of Opa Opa.
God damn it. Oh, no, it's not Power Fist. What the fuck is the thing's name? Oh, god damn it. Now it's going to bug me. Keep talking. I'll figure it out. The
Okay.
joke would have been funnier if I got it right.
Yeah, because I'm just like,
Ugh.
alright, I guess you want a Luke Cage bust. That's cool, man.
No,
Oh, that's
that's
Power
not
Man.
what it was.
Fuck. Oh well, we fucked it
Yeah.
all up. I'm thinking of Iron Fist, Power
Come
Man,
on, Chris.
Power
He
Fist.
fucking, like, he ran around and he, like,
He ran around.
oh,
He ran
He's-
around, Chris. You know, he ran.
You talking about Shatterhand?
Shatterhand. God damn it. That was
Where
the one.
the box art is him
Yeah.
like, punching and his fist is breaking into a robot fist or something?
That's the one.
Chris, how the
There you go.
fuck did you get that
Fucking
from? You know,
Shatterhand.
he runs around.
I think Power Fist was a better hint, but fucking edit it so that I got it right.
No.
Shatterhand
Bust.
bust
Be a dumbass.
or
I wanna
Street Fighter 2021. Ugh.
Oh yeah, I want that, like a full on statue of that.
Didn't that asshole have a boomerang?
Yeah, like that shot out of his fist or something like that. Not a terrible game, just like really, you're gonna tie that into Street Fighter? That's
That's
made any sense.
Weird.
anyway.
It makes
speaking
as
of-
much sense as the fucking Hakan.
Mr. Oil Conglomerate himself.
God, I love Hakan. I love Hakan. All right. Speaking of action figures, probably the coolest action figure news is I'm also getting this from toyark.com is that NECA is releasing a Turtles in Time set based on the Turtles in Time arcade / Super Nintendo experience.
Okay, I saw that. That's pretty dope. I saw this.
I like and dislike these things.
Why do you dislike them?
I don't like that weird pixelated effect that they're adding to the figures. Like I didn't like it on any of the other figures they've done either. Like it doesn't look right to me. Like I understand what they're going for, but I don't know. It's like they decided that the nostalgia of having pixels was more important. The figures actually looking good, and
You shut your whore mouth. That Jason Voorhees figure in all his purple glory is dope as fuck.
I see like that kind of stuff when they made like the Batman figure and whatnot. Making figures with the color schemes based on their old NES games is hysterical to me. It's just the squares, like to make them look like they're pixelated, they don't work because it's not like it's consistent throughout the figure. It's like because they still have the natural shading of looking at a physical 3D object, so there's lighting and whatnot attached to it. But then you also have like these. It just looks like there's a bunch of squares painted on them. It doesn't really look like that's the stuff that's adding the detail.
All right,
So
Chris. Well, I mean, the pixels might not be. What was the word you used?
I don't know.
Good, I think.
No.
Yeah, good.
No,
But-
I ruined the joke. God
this.
damn it.
If it
Sorry.
comes with this freaking diorama of the what is it, New York City 3 a.m. or whatever, like I'm all for these existing. I think this is I'm loving NECA going back and doing these things. Just because I don't love this style, I really appreciate all the the detail on all those boxes that those figures came in were modeled after the NES game boxes. Like they are really putting some effort into it. So while it's, like I said, the paint jobs aren't my cup of tea, but I am all for this stuff existing.
Aren't they
Oh,
Comic-Con exclusive though?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Sirius just posted a link in our chat that says that it's a Comic-Con exclusive.
Yeah, and you know what?
Which
I mean,
sucks.
that does suck, but I would also be shocked and amazed if that stays that way.
No, you're right. I'm sure they'll
That's
make it to
true.
mass market.
Wow.
Did-
It looks like Matt Much.
I did see the New York.
Well, sound it out, Dan. You'll get there. What were you gonna say, Chris?
No, because Chris was talking and
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
lagging like a motherfucker.
It looks like Matt Much went ahead and photoshopped Ollie's face onto the cover of Phalanx for Super Nintendo. Well done. Thank you, Internet, for making my dreams
Well,
come
done
true.
that much.
Resident internet troll Matt Much.
Glorious. Gloriously done. Anyway, yeah, you were going to say something.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I was so excited that Evan, friend of the show, picked up the Patina Cthulhu from New York Comic Con, the Funko Pop for me, and then like 3 months later, I saw it at Hot Topic and was very upset because I thought it was a New York Comic Con exclusive. But mine's cooler than anybody who purchased theirs at the mall.
Yeah, because yours says on the box New York Comic Con exclusive.
No, the ones at Hot Topic said that too.
Wow. Wow, you didn't get shit out of it.
Yeah, no,
Yours
but
just has a story behind it.
yeah, like that's cool. So I mean, hopefully these Turtles figures will make it to mass market retail.
If not these exact ones, they probably won't come with a diorama or something, but they will mass produce these things because there's no way they're looking at this and thinking to themselves, oh yeah, we can't sell these to the mass market. They're Ninja Turtle
Right.
figures based on a beloved Super Nintendo game.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants these outside of these 30,000 people that go to this thing.
Yeah. But they will probably, go ahead and make a handful of them, build up that hype, and they'll sell on eBay for like hundreds of dollars, and then they'll take it from there.
Well, I always like taking it from there. Where else are we gonna take it, Chris?
I think the next place that we're going to take it is to the realm of Nintendo. Nintendo is going to let 500 fans play Zelda Wii U early. They are setting up at their Nintendo World Store in New York. Or sorry, the Nintendo Store in New York. I forget what they officially changed the name to or whatever. The first 500 people in line are going to get wristbands and be able to go in and play the new Zelda game during E3. This is, I assume there's going to be at least one murder. Like, I
How
don't
soon
think
do you think
everybody's
people are going
gonna
to start lining up?
There's
I'm
already
sh-
people lined up, probably.
Yeah, I would say there's probably people standing out there right now.
Because E3 is how many weeks away? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's a couple weeks away. You got some time.
Yeah. I would imagine that there are people already there.
Yeah, I mean, there's look. I am a diehard Nintendo and Zelda fan, but I'm not going anywhere near that place.
I have a life and responsibilities.
I've been there.
I know it's going to,
Yeah, not a fun time.
and also I'm not crazy. I know the game's going to come out a good long while from now, but I also know that I'll play it when it does, and I won't have to have waited in a super long line to do it. I will be playing it in my living room on my couch on either my Wii U or my fancy new NX, whatever it is. But yeah, I cannot even imagine waiting in line. And I tip my hat, again, my non-existent hat, to those who are willing to put up with that to play this game. Because a younger me probably would have. And in fact, a younger me did. I waited in that super long line to play Twilight Princess at E3 the year before it came out. And it was friggin' worth it. I still remember that experience extraordinarily fondly.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, playing it at E3 and then waiting in line in New York outside of a store is different because you're going to be at E3 anyway.
Yeah, it's true, but like I was at E3 and more than half of my day was waiting in line to play one game, as opposed to walking the floor and seeing all of E3, you know?
I mean,
I've waited in that line at the Nintendo World store a couple of times, and they do really cool shit. Like every now and then somebody will just come by and give you a slice of pizza. Like they do cool things there, and it can be fun, but it is definitely not something for somebody my age and disposition.
No, certainly not. Your advanced age.
Yes, my advanced age of 35,
Chris,
but
you're fucking old, man.
I feel old.
Go
I
get
feel
your walker, bitch.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of this?
Don't care. I honestly, I'm being completely honest. I'm gonna play the game when it comes out. I have no interest in really playing or seeing anything before that because I don't like beta tests that much. I don't really like demos because I feel like when I get the game, it's not the same as playing a preview. Then like I feel like I kind of ruined it for myself. So no, I don't care. Doesn't bother me. Like, all right, cool, that's great. You people go and do that. I'm gonna sit here and play Puzzles and Dragons and be on a podcast. That's what I do.
Dude, put it this way. I almost didn't watch the pilot episode of Preacher because the next episode is an additional week away.
I feel
like I'm not going to sit and fucking like I'm not going to play a game for 20 minutes that's going to come out eventually.
Yeah, in like a year. I don't know. I will say that while this is so clearly not for me, I really like the idea of this. Nintendo has been really futzing around with this a lot of making the games that are at E3 playable outside of E3. And I appreciate that a whole lot. And this year they're making the game at E3 playable outside of E3.
Yeah, that one game.
That one game that they're bringing to E3, like they're putting an awful lot behind this game. And I'm sure it's going to be great.
I hope it's good.
That's
It better be or they're in fucking trouble.
That is my thing. I hope it is not leveraging too hard on motion and or whatever weird gimmick. Because like if there's one thing I learned from Star Fox Zero is that like that game probably would have sold really well if it didn't get trashed in the reviews. Because people wanted a new Star Fox game, but the reviews came out and they were like motion controls everywhere. No, just I don't care. And a very large portion of the gaming audience, as soon as they hear a game is primarily motion controlled, they're not touching that game. Dan, you're one of those people. Like,
you're goddamn right.
You're not going to play Star Fox Zero, no matter.
No,
I could tell you it is the best goddamn thing on the planet. You're not going anywhere near it. You're not sniffing it.
You could tell me it was the sequel to Guacamelee, and if you said motion controls after that, I wouldn't fucking play it.
And
just
like
no interest.
I look back very fondly at Skyward Sword. I really enjoyed Skyward Sword. I did. And I thought the motion controls were implemented very well. But I don't think that the game is better because of it. Like, there are certain aspects of Skyward Sword that were very cool. Like, a lot of the sword fighting, like, I would actively seek out fights in that game. I would never avoid anyone. Like, as soon as a Lizalfo showed up, I would sit up in my seat and be like, all right, let's do this thing. I'm going to kick the shit out of this bastard. And it was super fun to do that. What's that?
Did you put on your little green hat too?
I did. No, I never took it off.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, like I really enjoyed that game. But if I'm thinking back, I'm not going to play that again for a multitude of reasons. Number one, I'm not going to. 5 years from now, I'm probably not going to dust off the Wii or the Wii U just so that I can have something that's compatible with a Wii Remote Plus in order to do that. And thing number two, like after Skyward Sword, I then went back and played Wind Waker HD, and I'm perfectly fine by pressing buttons to swing a sword. In fact, I vastly prefer it. So as cool as all that stuff was, like I'm going to run around a lot of that game with my hand up in the air because that's how you charged up like this certain thing. Like you had to hold up the Wii remote to charge up this attack, and I'm like, okay, that's neat and all. Like it's a fun trick for about 4 minutes, but like, come on,
tired.
This is not adding anything to the experience. I really just want to lay here and press buttons. Like, can I be catatonic and play this game, please? So I don't know.
Well, Chris, you didn't hear about the.
Can I put as little effort into this as possible?
Yeah,
I'm already thinking about the puzzles. Like I don't need to be physically taxed. Not that it's like incredibly physically taxing or anything. It's I'm blowing it a bit out of proportion, but like I don't want to really do all that stuff again. I'm not one of the primary reasons I'm not compelled to go back and play Skyward Sword is because I don't want to play it that way. Like I had that experience once, but you know, that game is now so inextricably linked to the Wii. Because it can only be played on the Wii. And that's kind of like a double-edged sword because on one hand, it was a very exclusive game. You couldn't play that on the other consoles because it was designed around the Wii remote. But then, you know, after nobody cares about motion controls like that anymore, like how are they ever going to port that game to something else? Like it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a serious effort, and we're going to wind up in a situation like we have with a lot of other games that were very specifically like nobody's ever going to want to play Donkey Kong Jungle Beat again because like the Wii port of it where you're shaking your hands around didn't make as much sense as the bongos in the first place. And who's going to pull out a bunch of friggin' bongos to play a platformer, even though it's freaking amazing? Like it's just one of those weird double-edged sword things.
I read an interesting article that it said the new Zelda game there's going to be a hula hoop attachment now for the entire game.
It's totally based
Would
on
not fucking
comes with a
surprise
live
me.
horse.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
all.
yeah. You get a real horse and a hula hoop, and you have to combine them at the same time. You have to put the hula hoop around the horse and then start.
The horse
spinning
has to be actively hula hooping in order for you to play the game.
Yes, that's how you charge up your spin attack. It's gonna be something.
I am stoked
It's gonna
beyond belief.
be
about
something,
Zelda.
all right.
But I mean, I don't know how I'm going to react to E3 because I don't know if I want to see. I certainly don't want to watch an entire day of coverage of this game because I really want a lot of this game to be a surprise. But at the same token, I'm itching to see more of what this game is about. So I'm very curious about Nintendo's E3 presence this year of what exactly they're going to do. And, well, we'll probably have a whole episode about that pretty soon. E3 predictions are coming. It's my favorite time of year.
God, it's so hard.
Giggity. Anyway,
You're so hard or they're so hard?
Well, both.
one leads to the other.
All right.
Next story. Microsoft has finally found a legal path to publish Minecraft on Chinese PCs.
Okay. That's
Next. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that other than I love that headline so much. Just okay. Well,
good for
I
them.
didn't know that was a thing. Now I do. Good for you.
Way to go, Microsoft. Have fun.
So this is a bit more interesting. Wild Guns Reloaded is announced for PlayStation 4. They're making a new Natsume Atari is making a brand new Wild Guns game. That's awesome. Are either of you guys familiar with Wild Guns?
I'm gonna say no. Doesn't sound familiar.
I loved
Dan.
Wild Arms back in the day, and when I saw you posted that news story, I got unreasonably excited because I thought it was a new Wild Arms game, and I fucking love the Wild Arms RPG series, and
You let him down.
like now I'm unfairly angry because it's not what it is. But no, fucking Wild Arms was dope, man. It was a fucking
Yeah.
really cool game, and to be bringing it back. I don't know that it needs to be brought back, but I'm fucking excited that it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I'm really interested to see what are they going to do with a new version of Wild Guns. I just recently got Wild Guns. I think I have it now for both Genesis and Super Nintendo. Part of a recent collection I bought had Wild Guns for no, I'm thinking of Sunset Riders for Genesis, Wild Guns for Super Nintendo complete in box, and that's like a really, really highly sought after game. So I'm extremely lucky to have it. And that was my first time playing it when I had finally gotten it because I'd always wanted to. I just never seen it before. And man, oh man, that game is a blast to play. Like, it is just super fun. So this is an old IP that I am very, very happy to see back. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it. And Natsume and it was Natsume and Atari. They don't really have really great track records. I mean, I guess Natsume hasn't really done anything bad, but Atari hasn't exactly done anything worth anything for a good long while. I mean, they're Atari in name only at any rate, but actually, Natsume Atari is the name of the company. Huh, shit. I didn't even know they were the same thing these days. Shows you how much I've been paying attention to who owns the Atari name these days. Jesus Christ.
The Atari Dragon Ball games were fun.
I thought it was Bandai Namco.
Oh, never mind.
I believe some of them were published by Atari, but I mean,
weren't we working at Toys R Us, Chris, and like a rep came in and was like, "Hey, there's a new Dragon Ball game coming out that we didn't announce at all, so that's a thing that's happening."
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Fucking Christmas. That was a thing that happened. Like, I'm not just making that up, am I?
No, that was the kind of shit that definitely happened. So hey, Wild Guns Reloaded. I'm stoked. You're stoked. Let's hooray for you. Bring that back. Yet another reason for me to want a PlayStation 4.
I'm hot.
I agree. So, all right, let's see. Second to last story, we've got, thank you, Dan, for pointing this out to me. Hyper Light Drifters Retro Collector's Edition is ridiculous. It's
bananas. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they basically made a Super Nintendo cart, and it is coming out on PS4 and Xbox One with no Nintendo in sight.
No, none at all, and it's awesome.
This cartridge is it is spot on a Super Nintendo cart, except it's friggin' teal. This shit looks outstanding.
Yeah, I love everything about this, and I am not a huge fan of collector's editions.
Me neither.
At the best of times, because they're just more money for shit I'm gonna eventually just put back in a box.
Yeah.
But this one I think is really fucking cool looking. Like, with the type of game it is, why not do it this way?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really know about this game's existence before you sent me this story, and it looks cool as hell. I love this art direction, and especially on the outside of the box and everything. Like, I am so for this. Yet another reason I wish I had a PlayStation 4.
See, one more reason you gotta fucking start blowing sailors for $5 a pop. You'll get there eventually. This is what I'm saying.
I'll get there eventually. I live on the shore.
Well,
okay.
He's got those lips. I mean, delicious.
Last news story of the night. Tetris the movie is really happening. I remember them talking about this a good long while ago and thinking, boy, that's a project that'll never get off the ground. And I was wrong. Why are you making a Tetris movie?
Because Battleship happened.
Like, if there's at least a reason to do a Battleship movie, it's about ships battling.
And that movie is hysterical.
Story there.
Have you guys seen Battleship?
Oh god, it's awful. It's so bad.
The part where like the alien things are actually shooting the missiles that look like the plastic pegs from the board game. Oh, I could just hug that movie. I just want to hug that movie so much. It is the best kind of stupid. Like, God bless Battleship. It's so bad.
Like, what premise could you even come up with for not just a Tetris movie, but this is a trilogy.
Yeah.
This isn't just a film. There is, like, what fucking idea did somebody have? I'm curious.
Yeah, I am definitely curious. I would love to watch a movie about the story of like Tetris's existence and Alexei Pajitnov. Like
Nope.
that shit's fascinating.
Yeah,
but
I'll
that's
watch
not
a
this.
documentary.
No,
I'm
I want to watch
Sure,
some
this is
dude.
science fiction.
I want to watch some dude tripping balls while playing Tetris, and then all of a sudden he's inside the game and trying to get crushed by blocks. That's what I want to see. Just LSD Tetris with VR support.
Yes, let's see.
So-
I'm
so
reading this
Hyper Load
on
Runner?
Yes.
Washington Post, and it says Tetris the movie, which will be a sci-fi thriller. Wow, just absolute wow. So, all right, what do we think this movie's actually going to be
Actually,
about?
wait.
How-
Whoa, hold on. If it's anything like The Cube, I'm in.
I
Have
don't
you
think
ever
that's gonna
seen-
happen.
This room is green. Like, I'm fucking in if that's what this movie is going to be about. Fucking, that's awesome.
It is my sincerest hope that this movie is just about pilots piloting ships that are shaped like Tetris blocks, and they have to crash them in some sort of specific order to make them disappear or some bullshit like that. It is my sincerest hope that this is the dumbest crap that has ever happened. Because I feel like that's the only way that you can make this work. It has got to be so unfathomably stupid that it's funny. Because if you're going to try to make me take a Tetris movie seriously, I just don't think it's going to happen.
I have no.
Didn't
hope.
they already try that with Pixels?
Oh God.
Ugh. Yeah, well, Pixels was like a shitty Adam Sandler movie.
Is there any other kind?
Not in a very long time.
Wedding Singer was awesome.
You know. But
No, shut up, Dan. Jeez, hipster.
Oh god. All right. Any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Not a one.
Not a thought in my head.
It's hot.
Nope.
That's all. That's the only thought I have right now. I'm sweating.
lag is the devil.
Lag is the devil. But we're
Alright,
not
well-
playing like a video game, so I think you're okay.
Dan's lagging, Dean's sweating, and I'm coughing. So we're gonna put this show out of its misery.
Like the Three Stooges.
Thank you for listening. That's our show. Once again, you can get in touch with us at mail@geekade.com, as well as all flavors of social media that we inhabit. You can like us on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Geekade, subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels for all our latest video content, and follow us on Twitter at _Geekade. You can also find us individually on Twitter. I'm at Geekade Chris. That's Geekade KRIS. Dan is at,
@GeekAidDan.
and Dean is at.
Castlevania. Kimono_Vesselord.
We miss you, Mike. If you're interested in more information about anything we discussed tonight, be sure to check out our show notes. And while you're at it, you can also subscribe to this and any of our other wonderful podcasts on iTunes. Or if you're super nice, you can leave us a review because any and all feedback is welcome and appreciated. We'd also like to thank Mark TDK Knight for our show's theme. You can check him out on SoundCloud and Bandcamp or his website, which we have a link to in our show notes. Again, always remember to keep your eyes on geekade.com where we post something new every stinking day. And we'll see you again. Actually, we won't be seeing you for a Twitch show next week because we're doing an interview next week, and I don't think we're going to be on Twitch. We'll get that all figured out. But regardless, thank you for listening. And on behalf of myself, Dan, and Dean, keep playing games. And we're out.
Boopity boop. Turn the stream
Yay.
off. Bye, guys.